Hey everyone, and welcome back to another episode of A Pretty Little Podcast. I'm Allie, Violet Vixen Commissaro.
And I'm Jessie, guys. Welcome back in another week.
So, tonight's guest is heavy metal royalty. As dynamic frontwoman of Infected Rain and Death Dealer Union, she captivates audiences with her powerful vocals and commanding stage presence, bringing a unique blend of intensity and emotion to the world of metal. Please welcome Lena Scissorhands.
Hi, hello everybody. Wow, that was such an introduction.
She gives
now
the best
I'm
one.
all blushing.
Thank you so much for taking the time, especially since it's so close to the holidays. And
yeah, in fact, look, I'm wearing.
I love it.
It's okay. Thank you for having me. I had some trouble connecting for some reason, but I'm here now.
So let's just jump right in. Like, you just got off your tour, so we want to hear all about it. Were there any standout moments that come to mind?
Sorry, I'm messing with the camera. I wanted to make it better. Yes. Just give me 1 second. I'm so unprofessional. Look at me.
Oh, no, you're fine.
No, you're good.
All right, there we are. I just feel like I'm so far from everybody. Now I feel close. All right, so the tour is very interesting because it was so many ups and downs. We had to go through certain things that we were not ready to go through, and there were a lot of unpleasant moments on this tour. And of course, when I say that, I don't mean the shows. The shows were absolutely amazing, and meeting new people, making friends. It was awesome. Unfortunately, we had some problems connected to the travel itself and to visa for certain musicians, and all of that, between the bus that broke so many times and the stress to be in time at the venue and other little things here and there, and also losing some shows in the beginning of the tour because some musicians didn't get their visa in time.
Oh, wow.
So it was a little bit of mixed feelings, let's say that. But the shows were absolutely amazing. We missed playing in the US, so we were very happy to be part of this package.
So your fans, I mean, I've had, since I posted that you were coming on, I mean, I've had so many people like write me and they're like, wow, I love
a lot of people were really excited.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you so much for telling me.
With the fans, are there any like standout fan moments that you had while you were out on the road?
During this tour?
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely had a couple of interesting moments where, we would go on stage and there would be so many people that are ready for you and know your words and sing louder than you even. It was really nice surprise when we got back to play a Machine Shop. And that was really interesting because we played there once and it was a great show, but it was our first time, and now coming back and having so much support right away, people actually were cheering up so hard that I couldn't even say anything after the first song. Like after the first song you say a couple of words often and greet the people, and I was speechless. Yeah, that was very, very interesting moment. The pretty iconic moment, I think it was to play in Iowa in the small little venue where they say Slipknot played many times in their early days, so it's quite iconic as a place. Then there were a lot of fun moments with the fans that surprised us and brought us fruits and vegetables on tour, like at their meet and greet, and it was so sweet because produce, believe it or not, is something that is the hardest on tour because especially if you don't really only eat prepared food, you don't buy prepared food is what I meant. If you want to eat a little bit more healthy, And yeah, fruit and vegetables. We received gifts. We saw so many fans with Infected Rain tattoos on them. So it was great.
Now, were there any new songs or elements that you introduced in your performances on this tour?
Well, yes, we played Dying Light, which is a song that came out in May. With this song, we also introduced our new band member, the bass player, Alice. And we played it for the first time in the US, basically in this tour. And then during the tour, we actually had two releases. Two songs came out with their music videos. And one of those songs, which is Never to Return, we did include in our set list. So for the majority of this tour, we played Never to Return. Other than that, our album comes out in February, so there's going to be hello.
Oh,
baby.
little baby.
Yes, she's always with me.
Mine's usually with me too. I have my son watching him in the other room. I was like, I'll give you a video game early.
Hello, little star. Say something for the intro.
What's her name?
Luna.
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 Mine's over there taking a nap.
Nice.
I was wondering whose Paul was in your story. So you said about the tour bus, and is there anything more that you can tell us, like unexpected moments from tour?
Do you want more details on the bus situation?
Yeah. What exactly happened?
Well, I'll explain to you. So basically, our tour bus was rented for two bands, for Gemini Syndrome and Infected Rain. And the moment we left Las Vegas, because I live in Las Vegas, and also everybody from Gemini Syndrome is in Las Vegas now. The moment we left Las Vegas in the night, we drove for a while, and then we stopped. And now I didn't understand why we stopped, because it was in the middle of the night, and after hours and hours of us being stopped, I went to see, and we were the bus was broken, something with the transmission, I believe. And we were literally an hour away from my house. Just an hour away. And we had to wait until the morning for a tow truck and another bus to pick us up and take us to LA, because that was where the first show was supposed to be. And then so we finally do this transfer. It's already like midday and we are late, and we have to take all our stuff that we just put everywhere. And when we talk about touring in a nightliner, you know, you take not just a small little luggage of stuff, you take more necessities for the kitchen, for the shop, everything, because we were supposed to be on tour for 2 months. It's a lot, you know, some food for the fridge, some this, you know, like a lot of stuff. And all of that we had to put in this bus and then go. So that took forever and a lot of effort, physical effort, right? We arrived to LA, and obviously Infected Rain didn't play the first 5 shows, so that was already very sad and quite, you know, uncomfortable for us to be at a show where we are supposed to play, meeting with fans and not knowing what to say, I'm sorry, you know, and stuff like that. Yeah, and then this bus had us for one night. Next, we had to do it again to go from this temporary bus to the old bus, because it was fixed. And a situation like that, +3. So a total of 4 times this bus broke like this on a road, and in the middle of the night, like after playing a show and being already very tired, and you need rest because tomorrow you play again. Like at 3 or 4 a.m. we were doing the same thing, taking stuff from one bus, putting in another, and then eventually back. So back and forth, that equals 8 times. So
that's so exhausting.
Oh my God, that's crazy.
Yeah,
and that with obviously being careful, not forgetting anything. We did forget certain things, small things here and there, but like you have to be careful, and you're half asleep, you're cold, sometimes in ghetto areas, you have to do all that.
Yeah, it's a lot. And you do it with 2 bands. That's insane.
Well, no, with the dealer union, we are not touring, and it's a side project. And we don't know, we don't have big plans for future yet. We don't know where the band wants to go. I was hired, so called invited project. So it's not quite something I put together. So it's a little bit different. I only do this with Infected Rain.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I was gonna say, you managed your own band for 10 years?
Yes, we were self-managed, yes.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
Do you have any advice to any bands that are looking to manage themselves?
Yes, absolutely. If you are a beginner band that is trying to do everything, and be self-managed, I would say, be very alert for advices from people you trust in this industry, because a lot of people in this industry, just like any other industry, won't really want you to succeed.
Yeah.
So be very smart who you trust, and be very, very smart with what you do. It's very important to work very, very hard, because there's so many bands out there, so many bands that are good, real good. And you know what makes you you? Being honest with your art, being honest with your music, and being honest with what you do. And that all together with hard work and a lot of dedication, you will succeed. You will have to always remember that a band needs everything: artwork, videographers, producers, label, booking agent. There's so many things that a band really needs. So think about, maybe you can include people that can be somebody there, or like work in some sort of like exchange type of thing, like do something for each other. And
It's
that
trade.
And don't be afraid to experiment. Like, if you think, I have this crazy idea for a music video, go for it. Don't ever let anything stop you. Yes, certain things are going to be very expensive, but it's going to be worth it. Sorry, she has big ears.
I love it.
It's going to be worth it. And you just have to understand that it's you against the world, basically. So if you give up, if you don't spend enough time during your day dedicated to your dream, then no one else will, and that's actually even the same when you do work with a label and with managers and booking agencies. It's still, you have to also move, you have to also invite and inspire everybody to move and do something. Like, guys, what is the plan for next year? I want to tour this country, I want to include this, and I want to do this. It's always some type of work, no matter if you're signed or independent. So you just if you really are into music, and if you really have serious plans for your band, just remember that in the beginning is going to be a lot of sacrifice and investment, but it will pay off.
The labor of love.
That's great advice. So, what inspired you to pursue music, and how did you get teamed up with Infected Rain?
Well, for me, it was actually just a coincidence, just a lucky coincidence. Yeah, because I had friends in the music industry, but I never ever thought or planned to be a musician. Basically, I started very early to building my career, and I was a hair and makeup artist for many, many years already. And I had big ambitions and dreams in that field, and I really loved my job, and I didn't really plan to change this aspect of me, like, I like learning and know new things, but I was pretty sure that was my career path forever. So basically, hanging out with friends, musicians, and just being around music a lot, I was just invited at a rehearsal studio to just like improvise and play some covers with Vidic and his best friend, DJ Kappa.
Okay.
They were just good friends, and they were doing electronic metal, and he was using real turntables and creating live DJ music. And Vidic was the guitar player, right? And it was a very interesting, cool little project that had no name or anything, you know. So they were just fooling around doing cover songs. So they had a microphone, and they were like, do you know this song? Let's Google the words or whatever. Try this, try that, you know, just for fun. So like that, I think a couple of times. And then I was encouraged by the DJ. He was like, hey, if I were you, I would see a vocal teacher, because I think you have a voice. You just need to do with it. And I don't know why, but I had a lot of fun. But that was still not what changed my mind about my future. It was this little advice, this little seed that was sorry, my dog, the other dog is asleep under my chair. Did you hear her?
No.
No.
Yeah. The other dog was like freaking out. I lost my sentence. What was I saying?
You were in the middle of talking about in the beginning with your friends and the music.
Oh yeah, yes. So this seed, this advice that he gave me, it planted in my brain, started growing, and I got curious. So I contacted a vocal teacher in the University of Music in Moldova, in Chisinau. And I just started doing some basic vocal lessons with her. And slowly, these lessons, together with these other two musicians, I just started loving it. And we were putting some other music together, inviting other musicians, and starting writing our own stuff. And then all of a sudden, there was an opportunity to play a show. And that's when I knew. After that show, during that show, the emotions that I felt, I knew that I need to do everything possible to make sure that this is what I do until I can physically in my life. It was a game changer. The emotions I felt on stage and the relief of whatever I have had inside, it's so hard to express. It's so hard to describe. Unless you do the same job as me, you will understand.
I love the passion that you have behind it.
Yeah, I just knew I loved it so much. So for a while, in the beginning of the infected rain, when we chose a name, started writing our own stuff, doing other shows, I knew that I'm going to need to work and do this at the same time for a while until music can pay off for itself. So I did that together for a lot of years. So I was a hair makeup artist for a total of 12 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So that brings, so our friend Josh from Burden of Guilt, we asked the fans if they had any questions for you.
Yeah.
And he wants to know what inspired the name Lena Scissorhands.
Oh, that is back to when I did the school to become a hairdresser.
Yeah.
I was 15 years old when I joined the school, and I joined it like part-time because I was still in high school. I never planned to drop high school. I was quite good at that. And I really wanted to finish high school. And I actually even ended up doing university in Rome. But together with that, yes, I finished the school for hairdresser. I was hired immediately after I graduated that school. And I believe I was 16 when I was already in school. So at the graduation of that school, my best friends, they just brought me a t-shirt that had embroidered Lena Scissorhands on it. They all knew that I'm a big fan of Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And they just gave me this nickname. It just got stuck with me.
Stop.
I created, like back in the days, like my MySpace page with that, and then Facebook, and it just stayed there. It just stayed with me. And when I became a musician after a couple of years, I thought about changing it, But then I was like, it would be so much work, right now to do it. So I don't mind it.
It's such a fun name.
Yeah.
It is. I was gonna say, what was the music scene like growing up in Moldova? I'd love to know.
It was not much, just like
Was it?
right now. There are a lot of talented musicians, but they don't do much because the country doesn't offer any kind of opportunities. There is no support from the government. There's no clubs to play. There's no programs to help young, the youth for different kind of I don't know, games that you can win in the end something. And we barely do the what is it, the metal bottle of bands or something like that.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it's called, but I think that is still going. People are still doing that for the
Battle
youth.
of the Bands, yeah.
Yeah, something like that. But that's it. Every single metal club or venue would ever open, it would not survive.
Stay open.
Yeah, it won't. When I was a teenager, there were two, and in fact, Vidic, my guitar player, he had a different band at the time called Black Side, and they were performing in these two venues. And then other bands performed. They are bigger and beginners, but at the time I wasn't a musician or anything, so I didn't catch those venues. And then somebody else tried to invest in a metal bar or whatever, and we played a lot with Infected Rain there. It's closed again. Nothing, you have to, if you want to create an event, you have to rent a place, rent the equipment, do everything yourself.
It's expensive
and only that way you can do a show.
Definitely.
In fact, we don't really play in our own country.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we played there several times, but it's been a while.
As far as your influences, Nick from Strange Culture, he was interested in who were some of your musical influences, and are there any bands that you have recently gotten into?
I really am very surprised that this question is always put this way and always so present in my interviews. I will tell you why. I just don't understand why it's so common to think or to assume that artists get influenced by artists. First of all, maybe inspired, but not influenced.
Yeah.
If you don't even know this person and they are not there with you 24/7, how can they influence you? You can get inspired because you're following that person, or because you're interested in what they do and liking what they do. So I think we get inspired as artists a lot from many things. I don't know if it's true for anybody out there to get influenced, like you like to say it, like I say, inspired by by your same type of job. If art, doing music is your job, and then you get influenced or inspired only by people that do your same job, that's not really how life is. And that's not really how I think, in my opinion, a lot of artists of whatever type of art, and not only artists, see the world. You can get ideas and inspiration from everything around you. A book you read, a movie you watch, a situation you ended up in, and I don't know, a portrait of something, or a landscape of some sort, or maybe nature in general. There's so many things besides your own job that can inspire you. Of course, I listen to a lot of music. I can't speak for everybody. I know some artists, I heard some musicians say, I don't really listen to much music because this is my job. I literally do music. Okay, go. Sorry.
I kind of love that you just said that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you.
Like,
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying though, right? I mean, I
No,
don't
no, I
want,
understand
I
completely.
totally get it.
I
And
don't want
you're
to sound
actually,
rude,
you're
you
the
know?
first person that has actually said that. Like, it's not influencing, it's
Yeah,
inspiring.
like you can get influenced definitely by a figure or a person or even something that is constantly with you,
Mhm.
because subconsciously we tend to mimic things that we see every day, like, you know, like friends that we see every day, or I don't know, like when, I don't know, like a new partner in life, after a while that you see each other 24/7, you tend to finish each other's sentences or whatever,
Yeah.
can call it whatever it is, right? That's what an influence is, and it's not a negative thing. I didn't want people to think that I consider it negative. I just don't consider it a correct term here, if that
Yeah.
Definitely.
N-
So who would you
I
say
very
has
much agree.
inspired you?
yeah. So I get inspired by many things. In the very beginning, I was inspired by that sensation that I was feeling on stage. I couldn't forget it,
Mhm.
and that drove me work hard and never give up in this industry. 100% in the beginning. Now, after, what also inspires me a lot is the um, relief, and this might sound a little bit selfish, but the relief that my own mind and soul has through this um, vehicle that I chose in life for my emotions. It inspires me so much because it's um, such an interesting sensation when you're like, we all go through something in life, and when you're able to put that in words or in songs, and you perform it or sing it multiple times, it heals you. I know it does with me, but of course, in general, I am definitely seeking inspiration a lot in nature and in other type of art besides music, including music, but besides music, like movies. I'm very passionate about movies, and often I notice certain small things that are hidden in there. And I like books. I read, and when I read, sometimes I get very inspired by a situation, or just the way people sometimes choose their words, and it makes me think about it. It makes me research. I'm one of those people. It will take
Yeah.
me longer to read a book, but I will like be curious about everything about it. So yeah, everything, literally everything, every day could potentially inspire me.
Now, staying on that same track, as far as with your tour, could you give us some of your opening acts? Because we like to have everybody like kind of share some other people that they like to get the names out there. And
Oh, you mean if I could suggest?
Some open, yeah.
yeah, like, well, who were your opening acts for your tour? Like when you were on this tour, like who were some of your opening acts? And like,
Well, I don't, like I don't really understand how this works, because often, bands of the same level would just play one after another after
Mhm.
another. That doesn't mean that one is an opener, the other is a
Oh, I
bigger or
see.
smaller. You know what I mean? Like also here, I try to also always make sure that everybody feels equal. So on this tour, our first band that was first on stage was Black Satellite. On
Okay.
the previous tour, we had different bands in that did, like, for example, a specific band would do only Germany because they are from Germany and it's easier to move. Or we had an Italian band called Firebrand once joining us for all the Spanish dates and Italian dates, and then we went and we had somebody else. So it's always it's not always the same package from the beginning till the end. Um, but I would say, I think I would like to mention a band that we actually played together on a festival only. And we were trying to go on tour with them a couple of times, but many things didn't work out. It's a band that I really like, called Hacktivist from the UK. I think it's a very underestimated band, and
Yeah.
if
said
there
Activist?
is a way or someone that needs to collaborate or I don't know, have anything, it's a very interesting band. They are very genty. There's two vocalists. They rap with metal.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I mean, we became like close because of this festival, and then we wanted to even do a song together and then on tour together, and it kind of never worked out. But you know, I still hope that one day, you know, things are going to be how to say, perfect, so we can both have time for it, I guess. But yeah, this is a band that, you know, if you want to put the name out there, I think they're underestimated for sure.
I definitely want to look them up. So
You-
we have another fan question, and this one's from Lenny. He
Yeah.
said, how do you manage the challenges of juggling like your different commitments, like your other projects, like you're in Death Dealer Union and like the other projects that you do? And what strategies do you ensure to kind of keep like a balance between all of them?
So I'll start with the balance. I am still learning to have a good balance between my personal life and work. When I say good balance, I do understand that, you know, I'm not the only one that works a lot, and if you summarize the hours or the days that you're working and not relaxing, might be even less than some other jobs. But still, I'm often away from home. I'm not in the same city where, you know, my house is. I don't sleep in my own bed. I often sleep in different beds every night on tour, you know. So it is, the balance is difficult because every year is very different, and it's never a perfect balance. And it's so hard because, you know, your partners and your loved ones and your friends, they you know, you're not always there, so you lose this connection with your personal life a little bit, and it's hard. It's hard on both ends. Now when it comes to you know, how I find time between everything I committed to, it all depends. I'm trying to use planners. I really do. Like I have right here pages, you know, of things to do, and to-do lists, and that helps a lot to manage my time. Now it might sound boring and like, oh, I'm not gonna live my life by a to-do list. I used to think that too, but then I would forget many things, you know. And I actually write down a good balance between chores and things I want to do for myself, like take a bath, stop for a second, breathe, you know, do your nails. I finally did my Christmas nails. Look at that.
I love the Christmas nails.
Thank you. So what I'm saying, it wasn't my to-do list, and that's why I did it. If it wasn't there, I'll be like, crap, I forgot to do it. Oh, it's okay, I'll do it tomorrow. And we are all human beings. We forget stuff. We sometimes even forget to look at our to-do list, you know. And so things like that help a lot. Then also, you know, Death Dealer Union is a side project, and my commitment to this band only happened because you know, they agreed that I have the main project, Infected Rain, that, you know, it's a big responsibility for me, and fans won't interfere and all of that, you know. Also everything else I do, like featuring, I work a lot with other musicians, and yes, I'd also work considering you know, the time frame where I'm home, and if, you know, that time frame is fine for them, then it happens. If they have deadlines, then it doesn't happen, you know. So for example, right now I have two that I am thinking to start working on in January, just small little feature songs that have no deadline, not a soon deadline. So I'll see how it would go. Sometimes it takes very long for me to finish what I'm doing. But sometimes it's very fast, like a day or two, just to put together the skeleton of what I'm trying to say, you know. So it's always different. I'm taking it slow. I learn to also remember never to push myself physically or mentally. It's very important that you have fun with what you do. Very important.
Yeah.
So here's another one, and Lenny had two, because this one's pretty good. Why might someone choose to have two singing teachers, and how has the dual instruction contributed to your vocal development?
Two vocal
Yeah,
teachers?
because we had read, he had read that you had one in Bolivia and one in New York.
Okay, so first of all, why Bolivia? Oh, you mean my country, Moldova?
Sorry.
I'm just checking. Maybe I lost something. Okay, so I was living at the time in Moldova when the band started in 2007. Late 2007 is when the band actually started rehearsing, and it was not even a band. It was just this fun
idea.
Right? It was late autumn of 2007. And when that DJ told me, you know, you should see a vocal teacher, I was looking for a vocal teacher in the city where I was living.
Mm-hmm.
So I found one, and for 3.5 years, I was going to her classes all the time and learning a lot. Right? She gave me a lot, definitely. But throughout time, slowly, I found out about this vocal teacher from America that is very famous in the metal industry, because she taught a lot of big vocalists and helped a lot of people in this industry. Her name is Melissa Cross. She was very famous because she also has 2 DVDs with instructions and lessons that you could have purchased. So that's what I did. I purchased her DVDs and started learning by myself at home for years. And then eventually, when I was invited by my best friend to come visit her in Las Vegas, which before I never visited, before I never been to America at all. In 2013, I fly to visit my friend in Las Vegas. And then on the way back, I was spending 1 week in New York, because over there, another friend of ours was living for years. And I thought, I'm going to fly away from New York. That way I can see also New York, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was thinking, Melissa Cross has a studio in New York. I will try my luck and make an appointment. So I did, and I was lucky enough to get an appointment. And in 2013 is when I met Melissa Cross for the first time, and I started lessons with her. And she's till this day my vocal teacher, my one and only vocal teacher. I don't have two. I had one in the beginning, and then Melissa Cross.
I see.
That's how it went. And what was the second question?
No, he was saying, like, how has both of their them contributing to your music, like, how has...
Absolutely, they contributed with everything. I sound the way I sound because of my teachers, because of what they taught me, and what I was very good in school. I don't know why. I was, I guess, always taught that you have to be good in school, so I was. So whenever I study something, even though it's not for school or to graduate something, that's how I study. I'm always very on it, you know. So I was working hard for many years, a little bit in the beginning, and then in the middle of my career until these days. I say it all the time, especially if it wasn't for Melissa Cross, which has special techniques specifically for this industry.
Yeah,
that helped me be able to play shows every day and sound strong and sound powerful and sound the way I sound on the first show.
I was going to ask you, you speak so many languages. Do you ever write songs in other languages? Or is it
I used to write in Russian.
Okay.
In the beginning, when I was a teenager and I started writing little ideas down and poems, it was me and my friend, and we were teenagers and we were writing poems, very emo. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I get it. I still do.
So this is how I started writing. I started writing in Russian, because it was a language I used the most. And we were the only two people that were reading each other's poems. I still have that little notebook. Eventually, I studied languages in the university, so I switched and started writing in English because every band that I was listening to was mainly in English. And I don't know, I just like English very much, and I wanted to write in English for a bigger audience, so called. And I started writing. I got inspired again because I was studying languages and literature, so I was writing again. And eventually, when we started writing our own stuff with Infected Rain, I opened that notebook and I applied some of the ideas that I started in the university years before I became a musician. And that's how actually the first single came out, Judgmental Trap. It was some lyrics I wrote against the war that was happening back in the day when I was still in the university. And I just modified certain things, of course, and applied it to the song.
That's incredible. You've always been a natural writer. And
I don't think I've been a natural writer. Thank you, though. I think it's just a symbiosis of like being so driven. I really liked like composing and putting it together, and also the fact that you know, I read books and the vocabulary is getting bigger and bigger, without, not even on purpose, without you even trying to memorize something on purpose. We start connecting things and remembering newer words and expressions, and that is so nice when you apply that, you know, like in your poems or in your lyrics for the songs, you know. So I think that is what makes me the lyricist I am. Me, I'm talking about myself. It could be different for everybody. I never thought that I was very talented in writing, to be honest, like growing up or anything. I was passionate about books and stuff, but I never thought that I have the talent to write nicely and use this language in the best way, you know.
I think you are so good, not only lyrically, but in your music videos. Like the music video, oh God, there's just like,
what was your favorite
the
music
looks on
video
your
to do?
face in some of them, I'm just like, you can feel it. Like,
yeah, because I think, thank you. I get compliments like this. People a lot of times say that I'm a good actress. It's very flattering, but I think maybe, and I might be wrong, but maybe my acting in my music videos are the way they are because what I sing about is so personal. And I know that pain, and it would be so hard for me to hide it. I with my entire body and my entire look and my entire being, I am showing that emotion, not only with the words. But I never acted in commercials or movies, so I don't know if I'm given a script, if I could be good at I don't know. So maybe it's a mix. Who knows?
The music, Because I Let You music video, and just like the faces you're making and the practical effects, like the open wound and the breathing. It was like the breathing at the end of it, like the silence and just like the breathing at the end of it. I was like blown. I was
it was because actually, to be honest with you, I had a panic attack during the filming. It was very scary and frustrating at the same time because the makeup artist spent 6 hours to do those special effects for me. And I thought I ruined the entire work. I thought that I ruined all the plans we had for later, to film later. I knew I'm going to get emotional and I might cry, but I did not expect that. It could be a combination of the place. It was a real morgue, a real mortuary table that I was lying on. So it could be the whole energy together with what I was going through and what I was singing about. I had a breakdown, and they didn't switch the camera. That footage is actually way longer, and the director decided to leave it in the end. That's why it's a different color, for you to see that is real footage, that was not just you know, acting.
That was all real. That's why it looks so. Oh wow.
Thank you for sharing that, because
Oh,
so
yeah.
many people suffer
Look,
from.
I understand that it might be a weakness in the eyes of many, but this is what we are made out of. We are not made out of steel. We have feelings, and I wanted to be honest with my feelings.
So what would you
That's
say
amazing.
is one of your favorite videos that you did?
Actually, I had fun with all of them. Some of them were very challenging. For example, the music video for the song Postmortem Part 1 is so challenging. I was a cocoon, a real cocoon, and that was really me inside that web for the entire filming. So I had to stand on my feet in a certain position for more than 6 hours, because the web around the room was attached to me, so I couldn't move because it would all break, and I couldn't open even a little bit of a space to drink some water. 6 hours on my feet, and only after 6 hours I was safe to come out of that cocoon.
Oh wow.
Certain music videos are so challenging to do, and even though they come out absolutely amazing and they're totally worth it, I would do it again, especially now knowing the results. While you're doing it, you don't know the result, the full, like visual.
Yeah.
You only have the idea, it's only in your head, right? And you're just there suffering. And I suffered in so many music videos. For example, the very first one for Judgmental Trap, it's actually -4 Celsius outside when I am trapped and tied down to a chair in a one tank top and shorts. And the scenes of torture were the entire night. I couldn't feel my toes, by the end. There were like so many more like that. And small little things happen in almost any of them. Like, for example, the music video for the song The Earth Mantra, you can see different creatures crawling on me. Those are all real. I don't have any phobias or anything, so I was fine. But the big spider I was holding was actually a very dangerous spider. They are called bird eaters or something. You don't die immediately.
Like the bird eater tarantulas?
Yeah. But if they bite you, you have to go to the hospital. And I mean, I didn't care. I mean, I cared a little bit, but not to the point where I would not touch it or anything. It was in some scenes so close to my face even. Like my one of my guitar players had ambulance on the phone, like already dialed, and just to call it immediately just in case. Another member of my band was afraid when I was playing with the snake because he can't stand snakes. I don't know, fear or what. But I mean, I can talk about this forever. You're going to need a new episode for all of this. We've done probably more than 20 music videos.
They're incredible.
Yeah, they're very impressive. I was very impressed at all of them.
Being a prominent figure in the music, in the metal scene, how do you approach collabing with other artists?
How do I approach it when I want it, or what do I think?
Yeah, like how do you approach it? Like you said that like you don't really like do like want to write it as much. Like how do you collab with the other artist when you're doing one of your side projects? Like how does that
they contact me. People that want me to be featured on their song or whatever the project is, they contact me and via my email, and I just first thing I ask is the time frame and deadlines for everything, and then if I think it's doable for me, we discuss conditions, and then that's it's obviously has its underwater stones. Like, for
Yeah.
example, after I see that I'm available, I will first see if I can see myself in this project, if it's something I stand for, or if the song doesn't, I don't know, have a theme that I don't really want to be connected to. Like, for example, I have this rule that I try my best not to talk about religion or politics, because there's so many points of view, and it's so silly to get into discussions about this. So I don't think about it. I don't answer questions during interview about it. And yeah, so there are few things that I'll be like, okay, I will read if it's a song, I will read the lyrics to understand what the song is about. I will listen to the song to make sure that I like the song, and I want my name to be associated with it, because with my name comes the association of my entire band, and it's very important, you know?
And you're our first guest ever that does cameos.
Yeah. Really?
Yes, I have to hear. Like, has anyone had, like, I watched on Catfish the one time, they like had some girl do a cameo and it ended up being wrapped in with the catfish. Has anyone called you and had you do like a weird cameo?
I had a lot of weird requests, but I just don't do them because
Yeah.
they are not that clear often,
Mhm.
and or they are demanding some sort of publicity, or like, you know, to do a commercial for them when you don't even know what their product is. And
Yeah.
I've had a person saying, can you say this? And they were ready to pay me for a commercial price, which is a bigger price, obviously, and not everybody can, like, I don't know, not afford, because it's affordable, of course, but
Yeah.
it's just bigger, right?
Mhm.
And it was about a product, and he wanted me to say something about a product that I never seen, don't know anything about, and never even tried, but I was supposed to say that I use it all the time. So I don't do these things, you know. Like,
Yeah.
if the company cares for me to share my real
Opinion.
ideas and emotions about their product, and they send it to me, and everything is done clearly and honestly, then I will consider it. That's when it comes to like different type of cameos. The most common cameos for me are birthdays, holidays, I don't know, a word of advice. I do now, I just recently started, if one needs an advice stylistically from a stylist, you know, because of my past job as well. And yeah, things like that. Or like, hey, can you send a message to this person because they love you so much, and I think they would love that, you know, even if
Yeah.
without any special day. Those I love doing. They are very heartwarming, they are very cute and kind, and father to daughter, daughter to father, mother to, you know, like, it's so cool to see certain relationships, and sometimes see these people come to your shows and they're like, you told me happy birthday, you made my day, or whatever, you know. But yeah, I mean, all the other ones, like do a video walking barefoot on hot rocks or whatever.
I can only imagine.
Yeah.
into
Yeah.
it,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
You're like, I don't want to give that to you.
So we don't want to take up too much time because Jesse's like, she's
I
got
got a
to get to a
holiday
holiday party. I know you've got things that you need to do. Real quick, are there any fun holiday traditions that you have?
Oh, yeah, I do have a couple, and I actually want to create new ones. I like, for example, very much to actually stay until midnight and not go to sleep, like on the Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
Actually stay up, because as a child, when we were very small, and our parents were like, no, you'll open your gifts, the day off, or they will say, you know, Santa doesn't come until everybody's asleep, you know, and stuff like that. And then when we grew up, older, we decided to stay up, obviously, you know, and open our own gifts after midnight. And I really like when the gifts are a mix of, certain things that the person wants or needs, and actual funny, little cute, or I don't know, little bullshit things. I don't know, something like funny. And it can be handcrafted, or you can buy it somewhere, but something that reminds you of this person, or a memory that you can create with the person that you spending Christmas, or the people that you're spending Christmas with. Like, I often take to my Christmas party, I take my Polaroid picture, like camera, to take pictures, and I give them to everybody, and we sign them, and we put something cute on them, or like messages or whatever. Things like that I like doing. I like torturing my dog and putting cute things on her and take pictures, but she hates me for that, so I immediately take them out.
We were just talking about the little like the little like mitts that you get for your dog. My dog, literally at the second after I put them on, she's got them off.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
yeah, Luna does not like today. Me and my boyfriend were taking pictures of them, and we put cute little horns, like deer horns, on them. It was a challenge.
Yeah, I know, right?
Between his dog and my dog, they did not want that.
Oh man!
But we made it with a few loving treats and cuddles. You can buy their attention for a minute.
Just for a second. Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to say thank you so much for taking the time to come on. Like, we really appreciate it, especially with it being so close to the holidays.
It's okay.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you so much.
Definitely. And if you're ever in PA, we want to hear about it. I definitely would love to come out and see you perform.
Okay, yeah, keep an eye on it for it. I mean, maybe next year.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, thank you so much for having me. Have beautiful holidays.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye, Luna.
Bye.
Oh my gosh, she's so nice.
And she's so talented.
I was so excited to talk to her, and like, she's exactly what I imagined that she would be.
I know.
Very just not your typical answers. She actually like has an opinion about
everything. She has such a creative mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to wish everybody watching this podcast, everybody who's watched us all year round, a happy holidays, a safe holidays, and we love you guys, and we can't wait to see more of you in 2024. And, holiday wishes to us at A Pretty Little Podcast, and that goes for me and Allie and everybody who works behind the scenes. And, happy holidays.
Have a very safe and happy holiday. We'll see you in the new year.